Good morning, Thursday, February 26th. Welcome back to fullboresilver. Pull the plug indeed. They did it again. An anomalous shutdown of CME futures trading on silver, gold, and natural gas. They threw natural gas in there just to disguise what they are doing with the precious metals markets. This from Eric Young. This is what I think happened. CME clearing firms and vault operators reviewed physical silver in their vaults and realized there wasn't enough freely available free float physical silver to satisfy all parties standing for delivery. As a result, they halted COMEX trading and stopped issuing new silver future warrants, which are derivatives contracts. This gave them time to arrange backroom deals to cash settle the silver futures contracts. They lacked the physical silver to deliver. Now, of course, it's speculation at this point, but are you seeing a pattern with the CME meltdown back in the fall, the halting of markets? Whenever we start getting some momentum, getting up above 90 again, over to 91, and a lot of people speculated that if silver were to hit 93, 94, then there would be defaults on these short sold contracts going into the future. So what's the easiest thing to do? Just pull the plug. It's getting exasperating at this point, and this goes back to when I was talking about the State of the Union, Trump talking about the fraud in government. We see it almost every day in the silver markets, in the gold markets, in all the precious metals markets. I'm kind of a results-oriented guy, and I see no results whatsoever. It's the continual manipulation. The CFTC does nothing. The SEC does nothing. The administration does nothing. And it's been going on for years and decades. And you have entities like JP Morgan, which really are an arm of the government. And now you have Jane Street Capital. And this is everywhere, all over X. And you've got the uniting of the Bitcoin boys and the stackers calling out Jane Street Capital. Jane Street Capital, little known entity, largest holder of SLV contracts, by the way. They are the most profitable quant trading firm on Wall Street. They control 25% of all ETF traffic on Wall Street, and their founder and they don't technically have a CEO. It's sort of like a socialist type Burning Man, hey man, we're going to democratize trading illusion that they don't have a CEO, but they're run by this individual called Rob Granieri. Now, here are some facts from Venusa on X. No public photos exist of him for 25 years, Rob Granieri, until Bloomberg published one last year. He looks like an uglier version of Harvey Keitel, and yes, he is, if you know what I mean there. His own employee directory has a blank headshot. He personally recruited Sam Bankman-Fried. You remember the FTX, Alameda, all the crypto meltdown that took place a few years ago. Sam Bankman-Fried ended up in jail. Probably just an autistic pawn in the great crypto game. He funded a South Sudan arms cache, sent $7 million cash to South Sudan, to the rebels in South Sudan, that paid for AK-47s, Stinger missiles, grenades, said, oh, I thought it was for humanitarian aid. Whoops, minor screw up, no charges. This entity, Jane Street Capital, is likely an intelligence front, and they are mass manipulating markets with quantitative trading, which is the trading, the algorithmic trading, the machine trading that takes place in microseconds and nanoseconds. No human being could compete against the volume and the speed of the quant trading. He donated $700,000 to House Democrats and $320,000 to House Republicans. He unironically hedges politics the same way he trades. No net exposure. He also goes to Burning Man and eats at Le Bernardin every night in New York City because he refuses to cook. Now, not too bad a lifestyle, eating $1,000 dinners at Le Bernardin. 3 Michelin stars, by the way, in New York. He is currently in lawsuit with several entities for market manipulation and fraud. They threw him out of India, the SEBI index for pumping and dumping, and Terraform Labs. He basically nuked Terra Luna, which are crypto coins, and destroyed that entity. This is who runs Wall Street. It's just incredible to see. It's very frustrating as a trader because this does affect your equities, of course. It affects your miners, everything else. In an ironic way, it kind of provides you opportunity to leg into some of the positions you have conviction in, because it creates false markets is basically what's happening. We no longer operate in a free and fair marketplace when people like Rob Granieri are using quant trading and machine trading to nuke the price of COMEX silver. Silver's on the rise again, kind of double bottom wicking off of these lows. We're at 87 and change as we speak. Let's see, gold, again, same sort of pattern. They nuked that, went down a bit. Just scrolling up to my gold chart here. Gold is in the green for the day. We're almost back at 5,200, kind of bouncing around that chop zone. I do like the chart pattern right now on gold. But again, technical analysis kind of goes out the window. I mean, technical analysis is supposed to be based off of hundreds of millions of traders globally trading in free and fair markets. And when you have one guy at Jane Street Capital, the largest holder of fake SLV ETF, that is using spoofing and quant trading to submarine markets, all technical analysis goes out the window. So I don't want to hear it from technical traders. The dude over at Technical Traders, one of his commenters was hilarious. He says, he's called 50 of the last one crashes. It's a good way to put it. The guy uses technical analysis on completely spoofed and faked markets. So I don't put a lot of credence in that. We'll see where these markets go. Chopping around at this point. Miners appear to be strong. Hecla Core, First Majestic, Pan American Silver. So they are shrugging off the fake COMEX paper spoof manipulation. That is good to see. I was down big this morning. And like I said, you got to ride the lightning. I legged into a little bit more on certain commodities. Uranium was off considerably. I legged into a bit more Cameco this morning, but that's all you can do, really. It's reality. We have to operate in this paradigm. And so when I see the machine trading bring markets down in a dramatic way, in kind of a cascading way, then I dollar cost average more into my positions. There was a really interesting head-to-head on Capital Cosm. It was David Morgan and Bill Holter. I have a lot of respect for Bill Holter, Mr. Gold, and he was talking about the possibility of a COMEX default here for March contracts, and David Morgan kind of went through the details of it, and they had a good disagreement, and it got a little heated at one point, and I like to see it. I like conflict, which is why I did enjoy the State of the Union. I like people yelling at each other. I gotta say that I put more credence in David Morgan's position. I don't think that they're going to let COMEX default. They're making too many billions of dollars. They're backed by the government. I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. But these criminals, they're entrenched. They have these strategies they've worked out for decades. And I don't think we see any kind of default here in March. Bill was a stock trader. Bill was on Wall Street. It's a different animal in 2026 than it was in the 70s and 80s. The corruption, the fraud is way more entrenched, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time to wash out COMEX. Can't come soon enough. I agree with you there. But let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think we see any COMEX default anytime soon. Unfortunately, is all I'll say there. We're going to keep an eye on these markets. It is a gorgeous day here in Texas, doing a little chicken farming. We're going to be in the 80s all week. Might get some surfing in, and little bit of an R&R, and we'll see how everything pans out here. NVIDIA blew away earnings last night, but, you know, NVIDIA all-time highs nearly completely overvalued in my estimation, and man, they got hammered today off of good earnings, so they were down 4 or 5% last time I looked. A little bit of skittishness there on Wall Street. I personally would not be putting my money, my nest egg, my retirement funds in overblown tech stocks. Not financial advice. I'm a believer in commodities, and I think there is a capital rotation into items that industrial build out actually needs. You're talking copper, silver for capital markets, you're talking gold. Even Tether has gold reserves in Switzerland. You're also talking uranium, lithium, oil services. I'm huge on petroleum, oil services, natural gas. We are kind of in the shoulder season right now, in between the heating season and the air conditioning season. You're seeing natural gas take a hit. I think that's temporary. It gives you an opportunity to leg into some of these undervalued stocks if you are a trader. That's about it for today. Have a fantastic Thursday. We will talk to you soon. Please share the channel with your friends. We're trying to build it. Full Bore Silver. We'll talk to you soon.